Alright, here's your Chapter 2 Spiral review. It's the last review that we have to do for you to retake quizzes that you might not have done so well on. This one says CD is a perpendicular bisector of RS, perpendicular being the key word. And what you need to know about perpendicular lines is they have opposite reciprocal slopes. Opposite being they have different signs. So one's positive, one's negative. Reciprocal meaning we flip the fraction. So what was on the top, if we had x over y, we flip it and it becomes y over x. So that's the reciprocal part. The opposite is the different signs. One of them must be negative, one of them must be positive. If we have this situation, then those two lines intersect at a right angle. So first thing I want to do is look and see if they have different signs. This one is a negative, and this one has no sign, so it's positive. So those have different signs. That's a possibility. Negative and positive, that's a possibility. Positive and positive, that cannot be opposite reciprocals. Positive and positive, those cannot be opposite reciprocals. So now we need to look at the fractions, 1/3 and 3. Did the 3 move from the bottom to the top? Yes. Did the 1 move from the top to the bottom? Although it's not there, we can put a 3 over 1 and it's the same as 3. So yes, it did. So different signs, fraction flipped. These two lines are perpendicular. The slopes of these two lines show that those two lines are perpendicular. What about -1 and 1? We have -1 and 1. Did the top go down to the bottom? Yeah, 1 could be put under the bottom. Did this top go down to the bottom? Yes, that could be 1. So these actually work also. Now an example of things that would not work would be -1/3 and 2, or 3 over 2. Are they positive and negative? Yes, one has a minus sign, one has a positive sign. That's a 3, by the way. Did the 3 go from the bottom to the top? Yes. Did the 1 go from the top to the bottom? No, that's a 2. So these would not be perpendicular lines. Alright, looking at the next one. What is the equation of the line through these 2 points? We would actually use the stat function on the calculator. And if you need help with this, you need to come into tutoring. So we would push stat, enter. Take these notes down, and then you can come into class and try it and see if you can get the right answer. So my 2 points are -22/4, 19, -11. So I'm going to push stat on the calculator, and if I put it in a box, it's a button. Then I'm going to hit enter. Then under L1 and L2, I'm going to put my x's under L1, my y's under L2. So the x here is -22, the x here is 19. So -22, 19, and then my y's are 4 and -11. So I put my x's in L1, my y's in L2. Now I'm going to come back and push stat again, the stat button. I'm going to push the arrow over to the right button. Then I'm going to hit enter for under calc. I've arrowed over to calc, and I'm going to push enter. Then I'm going to push the number 4, and I'm going to push enter again. It's going to bring up a deal that says y equals ax plus b. A is going to be a number. B is going to be a number. This is the same as the slope form, y equals mx plus b, where the m is the slope and the b is my y-intercept. So when it asks for my slope, what it's really asking for is this a. So whatever number is here, I'm going to write here. For the y-intercept, whatever number b is, I'm going to write right here. Then I'm going to write this formula, this equation, y equals ax plus b, plugging in this number for a and this number for b. So y equals, I'm going to put my number, x, plus my number that I got for b. And that will give me my equation. Like I said, take the notes, write all this down, come into class in the morning and try to work it out real quick with your calculator. And I'll help you if you need help. Alright. Dealing with a triangle with vertices, we're going to translate it, which isn't going to matter because translation, rotation, and reflection do not change size. So there's no size change. Size stays the same. So we can use our original points to figure out what it is we're going to do as far as trying to find the perimeter. So my perimeter is the sum of the lengths of the sides. So I need to know what the lengths of my sides are. And I'm going to use the distance formula to figure that out. So my distance formula is x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. I'm trying to find the distance from A to B, so I'm going to use point A as 4, 3, and I'm going to use point B as 8, 6, and I'm going to ignore point C because I don't need it right now. It's not involved in this one. So I'm going to label my points x1, y1, x2, y2, and then I'm going to fill out my formula. So for A to B, A prime to B prime, I would put in x2 is 8 minus 4 is x1 squared plus y2 is 6 minus 3 squared. And that can be typed directly into your calculator. There's no need to do anything else. And you'll get an answer, and you can plug that in right here. Then B prime to C prime, we're going to do the same thing, except we're going to use B and C because we don't need A. So B is 8, 6, C is 2, 9. Again, here they are, the points. I'm going to label this x1, y1, x2, y2, and I'm going to plug it in. x2 is 2 minus x1 is 8 squared plus y2 is 9 minus y1 is 6 squared. I type that into the computer and I get a number. Into the calculator and I get a number. I'm going to write that number right there. Then I'm going to do A prime, C prime. Again, I don't need B, so I'm going to go ahead and cross that off here because I don't have any more room. So over here for A, I'm going to label that x1, y1. And on C, I'm going to label this x2, y2. So x2 is 2 minus x1 is 4 squared plus y2 is 9 minus y1 is 3 squared. Plug that into my calculator and I get a number. I'm going to write it down right here. Then to get the total perimeter, I'm going to take this number plus this number plus this number, and that's going to give me my total perimeter. And the last one is just another distance formula. So here's my distance formula again, and you'll be given this on your test. x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. I'm going to label my point x1, y1, x2, y2. And I'm going to plug in my points. x2 is 19 minus x1 is negative 22 squared plus y2 is negative 11 minus y1 is 4 squared. Plug that into my calculator. I get an answer, and I believe the answer is 43.65. Try plugging that into the calculator. See what you get. That's your Unit 2 Spiral Quiz review. Take the notes, make sure you understand it, come in, ask questions, and retake the quiz.